I farmed the cow level for 24 hours. Did I find anything good? Let's find out. And this was all done online on Ladder Season 13. I'm a level 94 Warlock using the Blood Boil spec, and this is the gear that I was using at the beginning of the video. The Obsession Rune Word, Shaco with a Fire Facet, 27 Mares, Arstor Balos with a Fire Colossal Jewel, Enigma, Mage Fist, Opal Vein, Arachnid Mesh, the Sling Ring, War Traveler, and in my weapon swap I'm using a very low CTA with a Spirit Monarch. I'm also using a 39 Magic Find Guide, a 13 17 10 Annihilus, and a 13 11 Torch. And I also have 5 Demon Killers with 5 Small Charms giving me some additional resists. That brings me to 301 Magic Find and right on the 125 FCR breakpoint. My build is Max Blood Boil, Engorge, and Blood Oath, and my mercenaries using an Insight, Treachery, and Andy's Visage. With that being said, let's get into it. On the very first run, I found a unique Joe staff that can be pretty good for low-level sorceress and warlocks. Razor Switch. That's not an endgame weapon at all, but it's crazy good if you find this around the required level of 28. On run 4, a normal cow dropped a unique war belt that can be very good for Amazons. Thunder God's Vigor. The Light Absorb and Max Light Resist also make this belt very useful for anyone who wants to farm the Ubers. Then in the same run I found a new item for Warlocks, a unique Mithril Point. Blood Pack Shard. This can be a pretty good budget weapon for the Blood Boil spec. On run 13, a normal cow dropped some javelins that can be very good for throw barbarians. Demon's Arc, but it rolled pretty low on the enhanced damage. Then on the next run 14, I was getting Worst Leg and Tristram, and my Hephasto one-shotted a normal Night Clan monster who dropped a set codex for Warlocks. Horizon Secrets. Will I find the entire set in these runs? We will see. And in the same run, the Cow King dropped something too, some Set Demon Hide gloves. Horizon's gloves. We have 2 pieces now. On run 20, a normal cow dropped a very good and valuable small charm. 7 magic find with 9 poison resist. That's exactly what I need. That's a very nice find. And in the same run, another normal cow dropped a very good unique weapon for Act 2 mercenaries. Hone Sundan. The 45% chances of crushing blow with the 3 sockets make this weapon a lot more powerful than it seems. Then on run 41, I found a very useful Grand Charm for me. It's actually an upgrade. 1 to demon skills with 33 extra gold. That's an amazing find. On run 46, a unique cow dropped a unique ring. The only unique ring in the game with defense against missile. Yes, Carian Wind. That's a nice find if you need it for the Chronicle, but unfortunately it's not very useful. 5 runs later on run 51, the Cow King dropped a very nice unique shield. Gurk's Sanctuary. The damage reductions on this shield make it especially useful for the Immortal Sorceress build. On run 54, the Cow King dropped one of the best helm in the game for physical characters, Guillaume's Face, La Face Guigui. 3 runs later on run 57, the Cow King dropped something else, a new item for Warlocks, Measured Wrath. This is a very good budget item for the fire build, especially if you find this while leveling. On run 62, the Cow King dropped something else again, but this time for Sorceress. Tal Rasha Lidless Eye, and it rolled with 2-1-2. Maybe one day I will find the perfect one. On run 68, I was making my way to Tristram, but Rakanishu dropped something very good, Mage Fist. This is one of the best loves in the game for Sorceress and Warlocks. Then in 24 runs, I found 4 skillers. On run 76, I found 1 to passive and magic skills for Amazon and 23 to life. That's nothing crazy, but it's always nice to find a skiller with life. On run 89, I found a skiller giving 1 to mastery for barbarians. 2 runs later on run 91, 1 to martial farts for assassins with 12 extra gold. Then on run 99, 1 to summoning skills for druids. That was a nice stretch of skillers, but unfortunately none of them have any value. 5 runs later on run 104, I found my first nice rune of these runs, a pull rune. That's not a high rune at all, but I'm still very happy to find a mid rune. Then on run 111, I was getting Word's Leg and a Champion Carver Shaman dropped another rune, a little bit above pull. Yes, an rune. Again, that's not a high rune, but it's still a very nice find, and believe me, the high runes are coming very soon. On run 119, the Cow King dropped one of the best pair of gloves in the game for physical characters, Laying of Hands. That's not very rare, but it's always nice to find. Then on run 126, I was teleporting around the stony fields trying to find Tristram, and I killed 2 big unique packs along the way, and a unique Dark Ranger dropped a unique Templar coat, Guardian Angel, and it's F. This is a very good armor to put on your mercenary while doing trav runs. 2 runs later on run 128, Griswold dropped something else for Act 2 mercenaries, a unique Salet. Rock Stopper, but unfortunately it rolled pretty low on the resist. On run 140, a normal cow dropped the armor with the highest amount of physical damage reduction in the game with 30%. Shaft Stop. The only other unique item in the game with higher physical damage reduction than this is Storm Shield with 35%. And in the same run, a unique cow dropped something else with physical damage reduction. A unique belt, Verdungo's Hearty Cord. The FHR with very high vitality, replenish life and physical damage reduction make this belt very good for hardcore players. On run 152, a normal cow dropped something amazing, something that we all need. A unique Grand Charm, a Guide. How is Guide number 1 going to roll? 137, 29, 14. That's not too bad. Then 6 runs later on run 158, something very rare happened. A normal cow dropped a unique amulet, and a few seconds later, another normal cow dropped a unique ring. The unique amulet is the Cat's Eye. That can be pretty good for Amazons. The unique ring is Naggle Ring, and it rolled with perfect 30 magic find. That's a very nice find. Then on the next run, 159, I found a very nice Grand Charm for Warlocks. 112 Rich Skills. This is excellent for the very popular Echoing Strike build. 6 runs later on run 165, I found another magic Grand Charm, but this time it gives 1 to lightning skills for Sorceress. Light Skillers are one of the most valuable skillers in the game, so that's an amazing find. On run 182, a normal cow dropped a very good low-level unique Skull Cap. Tarn Helm. Of course, this is not endgame at all, but 1 to all skill with up to 50 magic find at level 15 is crazy. Then on run 186, a normal cow dropped something else for magic find, a unique ring. Naggle Ring, and again with 30 magic find. 2 Naggle Rings with 30 magic find in 29 runs. That's amazing. 4 runs later on run 190, a normal cow dropped a very nice rune. A Mal-rune. Yes, that's a very nice find, but when I said earlier that the High-runes were coming soon, that Mal-rune was not what I was talking about. On run 194, I was teleporting around deleting cows left and right, and this dropped. A Jaw Rune. Yes! This is the most valuable rune in the entire game. I had very bad luck on the runes early in these runs, but my luck is finally starting to shine. By the way, only about 8% of my viewers are subscribed to my channel, so if you like my videos, please click on the subscribe button. It would be amazing to reach 10%. Thank you so much. Then on run 198, a unique cow dropped a very good unique Grim Shield. Lidless Wall. This is the best shield in the game for Nova Sorceress. 2 runs later on run 200, the Cow King dropped a very good budget armor for Summon Necromancers. Trangold Scales. This is not best in slot at all, but it's always nice to find. On run 206, a normal cow dropped a unique Grand Charm, a Guide. How is this one going to roll? 142, 26, 14. Very similar to the first one. On run 215, I found a unique shield that gives the highest amount of cold absorb in the entire game. Black Oak Shield. With this shield, you become pretty much immune to cold damage. On run 245, a unique cow drops some new set mirrored boots for Warlocks. Horizon's Legacy. This is our third piece of the Horizon set. 3 runs later on run 248, a normal cow dropped a unique amulet for Paladins. Seraph's Hymn, and it rolled with 2 to defensive auras and very high damage but very low attack rating. Then on run 251, when I was in Tristram to get Swords Leg, a unique skeleton archer dropped a unique ring. What is this one going to be? Bulkado's Wedding Band. Yes! And it rolled with 4 lifesteal. That's an absolutely amazing find, and that's why it's very important to kill the unique packs that we see in Tristram. They can drop some very nice stuff too. But it's not over for Tristram. 8 runs later on run 259, a normal Carver Shaman dropped another unique ring. What do you think this one is going to be? Opal Vein. What? BK Ring and Opal Vein both in Tristram 8 runs apart. That's absolutely crazy. And this ring is amazing. It can roll a bunch of different things, so it can be used in many different builds. That's an amazing find. But that's not all. In the same run, a normal cow dropped a very good unique partisan. Pierre Tombal Couin. It doesn't seem that good at first glance, but the 55% chances of Deadly Strike make this a very powerful budget weapon for Echoing Strike Warlocks. On run 269, a normal cow dropped a very good base for Insight, a Colossus Volge, and it's F. It has no sockets, but I can use a Ral rune with an Am rune and a perfect Amethyst to try to roll 4 sockets. And here it is, Ral, Am, Amethyst, boom. Yes, 4 sockets. That's worth about an Ist rune, so it's a very nice find. 2 runs later on run 271, a unique cow dropped a very good budget weapon for Act 2 mercenaries. Bone Hoot. The very fast attack speed with the 50% chances to cast level 16 Bone Spare and 2 sockets make this weapon a lot stronger than it seems. On run 278, I found the best magic amulet I found this ladder, by very far. 3 to war cries for barbarians with 10 faster cast rate. This is arguably the best amulet in the game for singer barbarians. That's an absolutely crazy find. Unfortunately, I didn't record the trade, but I traded it for a low rune a few minutes later. On the next run, 279, I found a set bone visage for necromancers. Strangles, guys. It's nothing crazy, but I needed it for my chronicles, so it's a very nice find. Then a few seconds later, in the same run, a normal cow dropped a unique executioner sword. Sword Guard. That's one of the unique weapon with the most defensive stats in the game. Then 10 runs later on run 289, the Cow King dropped 4 set items at the same time. But there's a very good set Swordling Crystal in there. Talrasha Lidless Eye again, but this time with 222. Finally a perfect one. And in the same run, a unique cow dropped another set item. A set Demon Head this time. Horizon's Helm. This is our 4th piece of the Horizon set. On run 293, a normal cow dropped a nice rune that we found before, a Pull rune. But a few seconds later in the same run, I found another rune, a Mal rune. Yes, that's much better. 8 runs later on run 301, I found a unique weapon that can be pretty good for Sorceress, Escuta's Temper, but it rolled with only 1 to skill and 15-12. That's absolutely terrible. Then on run 308, the Cow King dropped a set Russet armor for Warlocks. Horizon's Dominion. This is the final piece of the Horizon set. I have 2 complete sets in my stash now, and I will give both of them on Discord. So if you want a complete Horizon set, join our Discord. The link is in the description of this video. On run 315, a normal cow dropped a very good unique Demon Hide sash for melee characters. String of Ears. The lifesteal and damage reductions are very good for hardcore players. 2 runs later on run 317, I found one of the items with the highest magic find in the entire game. Blade of Alibaba, with 2 Ist runes that can get up to 159 magic find. The only items with more magic find than this would be Tomb Reaver with 3 Ist runes for up to 170 magic find, and the weapon with 6 Ist runes for 180 magic find. On run 324, I found a very nice Grand Charm for low level duels. 10 to max damage, 72 attack rating, and 18 to life. That's a very good Grand Charm and it's worth about a Vex rune. On run 334, I found another very nice Grand Charm, and this one is 1 to bow and crossbow skills for Amazons with 4 to strength. That's a very cool find. And then on run 336, a normal cow dropped an amazing rune. Much better than Mal, but a bit lower than Jaw. A low rune. Yes! What an amazing find to finish this video. And that's it. I found amazing things in these runs. A low and a jaw rune, 2 Geeds, BK ring, opal vein, a bunch of skillers, and so much more. That was a very fun video to make, and the blood boiled spec is absolutely overpowered. I have a lot more video projects coming very soon, including a bunch of challenge videos, so be sure to subscribe to my channel to not miss any uploads. Massive thanks to all the channel members for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for all the support. And thanks to all of you for watching this video until the end, and as always, happy grinding!